People who hate crowds aren't antisocial. They're often the most socially intelligent people in the room. Let that sink in. In a world that celebrates being loud, visible, and everywhere at once, people who avoid crowds are often misunderstood. They're called too quiet, awkward, introverted to a fault, antisocial, or worse, weird. But here's the truth most people never hear. Hating crowds has almost nothing to do with fear, arrogance, or weakness. It has everything to do with how the brain processes energy, emotion, and control. And today we're going to unpack the real mindset behind people who hate crowds, because once you understand it, you'll never look at them the same way again, and you might even realize this video is describing you. Before we dive deep, if you enjoy psychology, mindset, and understanding human behavior on a deeper level, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This channel is where we explain people without judgment, including the parts of yourself you never had words for. Now, let's get into it. 1. It's not about shyness. The biggest myth about people who hate crowds is this: they're just shy. No, shyness is about fear of judgment, but many people who hate crowds speak confidently one-on-one, perform well in meetings, are excellent communicators, can lead when needed. So why do crowds drain them? Because crowds overwhelm their nervous system, not their confidence. In crowded environments, multiple conversations overlap, sounds compete for attention, social expectations multiply, personal space disappears. For some brains, that chaos isn't stimulating, it's exhausting. Their mind doesn't shut down, it processes everything at once. And when you process everything deeply, you don't want more input, you want clarity. Too high awareness, low tolerance for noise. People who hate crowds are often hyper-aware. They notice tone shifts, facial micro-expressions, body language, emotional undercurrents. In a crowd, they're not just there, they're subconsciously reading who's uncomfortable, who's pretending, who's dominating the space, who's draining energy. That constant awareness comes at a cost. While others are enjoying the party, they're running mental background processes non-stop. It's not anxiety, it's mental overprocessing. So their brain does the smart thing: let's get out of here. Not because they hate people, but because they value mental peace. 3. Control and autonomy. Here's something most people miss. Crowds remove control. You can't choose who stands near you. You can't easily leave conversations. You're forced into social roles. Your autonomy shrinks. People who hate crowds are often deeply autonomy-driven. They value freedom of movement, freedom of thought, freedom to disengage. Crowds threaten that. It's not rebellion, it's self-regulation. They don't want to feel trapped in social expectations, forced small talk, performative interaction. They want to be present by choice, not pressure. So 4. They don't hate people, they hate pretense. Here's a powerful truth. People who hate crowds often love deep connection. What they hate is surface-level interaction, repeated small talk, social scripts, fake enthusiasm. Crowds encourage performance. Laughing when it's not funny, smiling when you're tired, talking just to fill silence. For someone who values authenticity, that feels like emotional labor. They'd rather have one real conversation, sit in silence with someone they trust. Leave early than fake energy, and that doesn't make them cold. It makes them emotionally honest. Sapperful, mamudamber. 5. The energy exchange problem. Western culture often rewards being outgoing, being visible, being socially dominant, but some people experience social interaction as an energy transaction. Crowds take more than they give, drain faster than they refill, leave them overstimulated for hours or days. After a crowded event, they might need silence, solitude, low stimulation, time to reset. And here's the key point. Needing recovery doesn't mean something is wrong with you, it means your brain is wired differently. Just like muscles recover after strain, some minds recover after social overload. 6. Why they're often misunderstood: because society is loud, because extroversion is marketed as confidence, because solitude is often mistaken for loneliness. So people who hate crowds get labeled as distant, hard to read, unfriendly, too serious. But the irony? They're often thoughtful listeners, deep thinkers, loyal friends, emotionally intelligent partners. They don't spread themselves thin socially, they invest selectively, and that makes their connections fewer, but deeper. 7. Trauma versus temperament. Now let's clarify something important. For some people, crowd avoidance can come from past trauma, anxiety, negative experiences, But for many others, it's simply temperament. They were born with higher sensory sensitivity, stronger internal processing, lower tolerance for chaos. And here's the danger: when society tells them, you need to change, they start thinking, something is wrong with me. But nothing is wrong. They just weren't designed for constant stimulation. And that's okay. 8. The hidden strength. People who hate crowds often excel in creative work, strategic thinking, one-on-one leadership, deep problem solving. Why? Because their mind works best in focus, quiet, intentional environments. They don't need noise to feel alive, they need meaning. And once they stop forcing themselves into environments that drain them, they thrive. So here's the real mindset of people who hate crowds. They're not antisocial, they're selectively social. They're not broken, they're self-aware. They don't hate people, they hate chaos, pretense, and emotional overload. And if this video described you, let me say this clearly. You don't need to become louder. You don't need to attend every event. You don't need to explain yourself. You just need to honor how your mind works. If this video resonated with you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who feels misunderstood. And comment below, do you hate crowds, or do crowds just drain you? Your answer might help someone feel less alone. See you in the next one.